All right, y'all, let's get a little bit more into the right and left and that divide. And it's a spiritual divide of the left and right temple. And this is why we need to build the temple on the middle, because the third temple is built without hands, and Jesus is coming in the third temple and all these things. So this is where he's coming in us. He's giving us this light and or this darkness and whatever. Okay, so for that Jew that's been scattered among all nations, that carnal man, they're looking for these physical signs, and the physical signs they're going to get, but as they get these physical signs, they're being provided a light, and they're going to start running to this light provided and this shelter provided and all these other things, right? The shelter. So the one world religion and the Antichrist and these things that are coming, all right? The ant, that's part of the mound. That's part of these people having the eye. The AI. The AI, it's part of me and part of that brain that's working. Not the EI brain where you're being controlled. But this, this new religion and this Antichrist is where Jesus is returning and saying, hey, Jesus said I was the Christ. Jesus said I'm the living God. Jesus said religions are evil. That's why he came into this world as a light, because the religions were controlling our world. And there's a new way of doing things. There's a new way of thinking. I can understand how in Genesis in 1 and 2 these things were divided, and what Jesus was talking about, how we're all equal, because that's what this world is talking about. And we have these pronouns going on. The pronouns are in your Genesis and stuff, and it's there to divide and there to blind you. And that's why Jesus constantly referred, have you not read? Have you not read? Because it tells you that the man and woman are equal. It tells you that we're all brothers and sisters. We're all one while we're all divided. Okay? And we can either live in a positive, one world, or we can live in a negative, divided world. And as the positive and negative for this world stage, for this last bit of whatever's there to grind up whatever meat and greet you got left in you, then the right and left temples, they're being destroyed right now. And as they're destroyed, the flames are coming up, and you got literal hell on earth coming. You got the lake of fire breaking open. Then you got the Hades on the opposite side breaking open. You got burning men with the waters flooding in Nevada or Utah, wherever the Burning Man happens. All right, and then you got that happening in Dubai, the floods, while the real Burning Man is happening a couple days later with Trump's trial, with that seeding, the cloud seeding that started, so you can start seeing the Lord coming in the clouds and all these other things. So we got to understand the foundations of Jesus, and Jesus versus Paul, and Jesus versus Moses, and how Jesus came against these religious systems and stuff, because these religious systems, the end times, all this stuff has been pre-programmed. All the alien garbage, all this stuff has been pre-programmed. So when it starts shaking, and these so-called carnal men, they've heard these things. The seeds are growing. They're seeing things. These trees are like the cannabis tree, where it's like, oh shit, we got hell coming. So it's this fast-growing tree. And as this fast-growing tree is starting its season now, and then you got the Croptober, and that lines up with your 6 months perfect. So this is part of that cannabis tree that's growing today on that 420 holy day, the new year. So this is time for that, okay, the green and growing and the false prophets and chopping and all these things, all right? So that's where they're talking about Bitcoin going up to 200, whatever, 300. All right, so we can see that, and it just bam, should have cashed out. But you're not going to cash out because it's going up $1,000 a day, and this is where the carnal man is just given over to the delusion, and y'all watch and wait. Obama, he set up one side of Jesus. Trump, he set up another side of Jesus. They're coming together to battle the two Jesuses. All right? You want to be the Jesus that's on the straight and narrow, that's not partaking in the right and left bullshit. All right? Because the mark in the right hand is going to come for that seer, and they're going to get you with Trump Jr. or Trump Sr. or Obama trifecta, or however they're going to go, or The Rock coming in, or Kanye, the ye that has the not, that has ye have red not, or whatever. So we can see Kanye, and that's why he's doing the spiritual stuff now with the, like, wearing black trash bags, and the woman is naked, and he's testing Eden in one way, and then he's also doing where he's the darkness upon the deep, and she's the light of God on the face of the waters, reflecting it, and different things like that. But and he's also said he was Jesus and those things in the past. But this is where, if we understand Jesus and how these things are just being brought to us as a division, and how Jesus is being told you one thing, God's being told you one thing, Christ is being told you, Antichrist, blah, blah, blah. All these things are being programmed to these people, and they're just eating it up. Okay? Now, the Jesus is in all of us. And Jesus says that he has blinded those and deafened those so that they could not see and they could not hear, because that Jesus out there is taking your key away, because the Jesus is in here. Okay? And this is what Jesus is telling them. So this is part of the Antichrist also. There's going to be multiple Antichrists, because the church worships Jesus, or this begotten Son, or whatever they think is coming, as the Christ, but Jesus didn't teach that. Jesus taught opposite of that. Paul was the one teaching that. Oh, Jesus is the second Adam. Jesus said, no. Adam came from me. David came from me. But once you understand the Lord equals Satan in the Old Testament, and that's why Jesus came against the Old Testament, and it's going to be the same thing today. The Antichrist, the Jesus people, the living God, are going to come against that dead God. And that's where the dead in Christ rise. And the church is on the losing end. And that's where they have to be taken into the wilderness and slapped around a little bit, because they've been left behind. And if you're left behind, you can't keep up. Okay, so that's basically the retards. That's the slow bus, the low bus. And that's the Boo US. The Boo US is the scaredy cat United States for the ones living in fear. So as those ones living in fear, that's the F ear, the fuck ear, the six ear, the sick ear. The armies that gathered got to get that quarantine. Got to be locked up for them 10 days or whatever to see if you're all right. While this is happening, you got that Real ID coming out, and then the voter app probably coming out, and then X app and Trump's channel and whatever other stuff they got planned coming out. All right. You already got Triggered. The Triggered with Don Trump Jr. might go on to X app. That would be the musket trigger. All right. For that war coming. On that spiritual, that shoot the old middle eye, because the day video, and that stone in the sling, all right, hits the old Goliath, that lie for that brainwashing, the old brain Washington, George Washington, and that George is that old GE with the Or for that rowing those waters with the GE on the flip side, and that GE is that General Electric and those types of things. So, and the electric ties to that light, and God is light. So there's multiple stacks in this Bible. Okay. Problem with the Bible, it's a two-edged sword. So it can either give you freedom through Jesus, or it can give you bond through Jesus. All right, but once you have Jesus inside of you, once you get that single eye, the single eye is what gives you the freedom. So the single eye says, hey, I'm not going to live my life based on what society says. If I want to wear this hat or this shirt or this underwear or these socks or whatever, I'm going to do it. If I want to wear a wig today, I'm going to do it. If I want to shave half my face and grow out half my beard, I'm going to do it. If I want to wear a fucking Halloween costume every day and call myself a furry, I'm going to do it. So that's kind of what we're living in now. We live in a new heaven and a new earth. We don't have the same rules and structures that we're going into. People are starting careers, making money on YouTube or whatever, right? So as these things are happening, and a new so-called Hollywood is transforming, we're going from a Israel to another type of Israel, another Israel. All right, and this is where your AI bullshit people that everybody's following are going to go away eventually, because it's been a test, and and then y'all are all going to be smacked around in the face by all this real shit that's coming. And as the real shit is coming, it's going to break down your fucking temples even more. I just can't take it. So as the heart goes, the heart goes. And everything is built on these days. So the Big Bang brought the people, in a matter of speaking, and a rewind. And the Big Bang is going to take them out, in a matter of speaking. And you think of it as a movie, because we live in a projection. And the projection is coming to an end. And as it comes to an end, then reality, the perception of your reality and your delusion that's within sets forth. And the delusion is set forth because the man is looking through the eyes of the eagle, or the eyes of the lion, or the eyes of the ox. We see our whole society built on these. And as a hunter, as a farmer, as a person who watches animals, you know their move by watching them. You go out in the woods, go out and learn their behavior. If I put a sugar drop here, the ants are going to come. It's exactly what they're doing. And that's the Rage US, and that's the raw. On the flip side of the sugar, for that sugar cane. Sugar can't, for that Abel worship. Can't do shit. And there's a tree that is not Satan, and the tree that is to come, Jesus. And as the one world religion comes, where there is no fucking religion, that's the religion of Jesus. And it's coming to get rid of the church age. It's right there in front of you, dude. And they're teaching it to you opposite, because they're fucking parrots. The pastors today are high level or low level monkeys. Okay? Very simple.